on, y'all? Robert Sykes, KetoSavage.com.
Crystal Sykes, LadySavage.com.
And y'all probably have guessed by now, if you've watched many of our Keto Savage kitchen recipes, that I am pretty much the brains behind the kitchen and do most of the work. So when I asked Crystal what kind of expertise I could prepare for y'all this week, and she said, let's do a hard-boiled egg recipe, I was a little baffled because it's like, who doesn't know how to make hard-boiled eggs? And I don't know how to make hard-boiled eggs. There's actually a million different ways to make hard-boiled eggs. If you Google it, there's like 15,000 different ways to do it. Some people say have the lid off. Some people say have the lid on. Except I did that backwards. Some people say stick it in ice water. Some people say don't stick it in ice water. So who knows the best way to cook eggs?
There's a million different ways, but I actually did ask my crew. I was like, do you guys know how to make a perfect hard-boiled egg? And they said no, or several of them said no. And so I just thought, we need to do a hard-boiled egg recipe. It's just real simple. I've played around with this for a while. This is the easiest, most streamlined way of doing things for me, and this is how I make all of our hard-boiled eggs. And super easy to meal prep.
Meal prep.
So let's do it.
You know how to make hard-boiled eggs?
I do.
You do? Perfect hard-boiled eggs?
Chip just...
Sometimes.
These are always perfect, right?
Yeah, he uses my recipe. Just kidding.
All right, what we do?
All right, so let's take the lid off of that, and we're gonna put in half a teaspoon of salt. Now, some people don't do this, and some people use like vinegar instead, and it actually helps the whites. If the white escapes from the shell, if the shell cracks, it actually helps to keep the white from separating completely. So you can do that, and it also, I don't know if it actually helps, but they say it helps. People say it helps with peeling the egg. And also, another fact, the older your egg is, the easier it is to peel. The fresher the egg, the harder it is to peel. So if you have farm fresh eggs, try to use the older ones and not the newer ones.
Are these pretty fresh?
No, I mean, so.
Take your ring off. Just any hand. Put this in the palm of your hand. I bet you can't crush it. If you go as hard as you can, I bet you can't crush it.
I am not gonna try that.
I bet you can't do it.
Good, I'll let you.
Have you never done that before?
No.
Have you done it, Chip?
Oh.
We'll save one egg. We'll do it later.
Oh, okay. Right? I have another egg. Let's just use all these.
Okay.
So I have 10 eggs. You can really do it with however much. You know, maybe 12 being the big or the.
Put them in there.
The most, yes, please. The most, just depending on the size of your pot. So just place them all in there, and then we're gonna fill the pot with water. You want the water to be about 2 inches above every egg. So if there is an egg that's kind of off balance, you want it to be about 2 inches above that. So you want to fill that one up with water?
Cold water, hot water?
Cold water. Always use cold water. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of water.
You said about 2 inches.
That's a lot of water. We're just gonna take a little bit of that. All right, so now we're gonna turn this on. It can be all the way up high. And we're gonna let it come to a boil without the lid on. So you're gonna let it come to a boil, and it can be ripping and roaring. And then, once it comes to a boil, we're gonna turn it off. We'll do that in just a second.
Now that it's boiling, turn it off.
Yeah, we're gonna turn it off and put that right on. And then we're going to let it sit. You can let it sit for up to about 20 minutes, but that's gonna be a really done egg. So I personally like it between 8 and 10 minutes, so we'll put a timer on, and then we will show you guys what's next.
What's going on, y'all? We are back. It has been 10 minutes since this boiled, and we put the lid on it.
It's actually been 8.5 minutes.
8.5 minutes.
To be precise.
Now, what are we doing now?
So now we're going to be putting this ice in the bowl, and we're gonna fill it with some cold water. What you doing?
My handy dandy egg grabber here.
Oh, we don't need that quite yet.
Oh, we don't?
So we're gonna put this in here. fill that with water, that would be fantastic. Cold water.
Cold
please.
water. All right. Now we put the eggs in there.
Yes. Try not to have as much water as you can. And the ice water really helps to shock the egg, helps it to peel a little bit easier as well. Now, I will tell you that this little burner guy did not do as well as my actual stovetop. We used the burner for better viewing for you guys. So I'm really hopeful that it worked out just as well as my regular stovetop does as well.
And if it didn't, it'd be kind of funny to have a perfect egg recipe that did not deliver the perfect egg.
It should be pretty good though. However, I will tell you that I like my eggs a little bit less done. So like a little bit more, what is that? Not sticky.
Al dente.
Oh, just a little less done in the center part. If you want it more done, you're just gonna leave it in the pot longer with the lid on. So that's the only difference that you'll do. Leave it for a couple of minutes. You can also just pull one of the eggs out, crack it without putting it in the ice water. Crack it, open it, see if it's where you like it. If it is, pull the rest out. If it's not, it needs to be done a little bit more, then you're going to just leave it in there for a little bit longer.
How long do you leave it in the ice water?
Just like, 2 or 3 minutes, let it all cool, let it kind of get that shock in there. So we can just dump that, clean up this, and then it should be ready to...
It's like sauna for the eggs and ice bath for the eggs.
Yes.
We got some heat shock
We have
proteins
some
going on.
super healthy eggs here.
Yeah, these eggs are metabolically sound, let me tell you.
Biohackers.
Biohacked eggs right here.
All right, so yeah, let's just go ahead. We're gonna go. Where's our? There it is. Handy dandy scooper. We'll just grab one egg at a time. You wanna? Oh, he's toughing it out. All right.
Yeah, I got it.
Nope. What are you doing?
One egg at a time?
Yeah, we're just gonna crack it open and look how nice and easy that peels.
It is a perfect egg.
It is a perfect egg. Now I can feel how warm it is still, so the other ones are probably gonna be a little bit even easier to peel once they're cold. But for now,
It was a pretty good egg, I'm not gonna lie.
I know. Now, I like to rinse them off.
There's nothing worse than the smell of a fresh hard-boiled
I
egg.
know, they are pretty smelly.
They smell like gas.
Smells like eggs. You wanna rinse those off in cold water and then we'll cut them open. See how perfect they are. Oh, we need a plate. Sorry, didn't ask you for that. Here is the truth. Is that what people say? Here's the truth?
I don't know.
I don't either.
Moment of truth.
Ooh, yeah, moment of truth.
Here's the truth.
Here it is. Perfect hard-boiled egg right there. So stinking good.
So stinking is true.
Wow, so stinking. Yeah, that's a good-looking egg right there.
We got some salt.
Ooh.
We need some salt.
I know. We're gonna take a picture too. Oh yeah, and then you gotta put like a little bit of pepper on there. I would just put it in your hand and then put it in there. And a little bit of salt. Or do that.
I'm living dangerous here.
You are.
Look at that. Boom.
Oh wow. Yeah, these eggs are perfect.
All right, let's
They
try
look so
them.
good. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So good. We're actually going to use these eggs to make chaffle egg salad sandwiches tonight. So I'm going to make chaffles, mix the eggs up a little bit, and then make egg salad sandwiches. They're going to be so good.
And eggs are really good from like a macro manipulation standpoint because a typical egg is about 6 grams of protein, 5 grams of fat, usually depending on size of the egg and whatnot. A lot of macro trackers count eggs as having 1 gram of carbohydrate per egg, whereas in reality it's more like half a gram. Some macro trackers round up to 1, some round down to 0. Doesn't really, it's not really a concern unless you're eating like a dozen eggs a day. They're not really going to add up that much. So I don't even typically count the carbs in eggs if you're just having a few eggs. But again, I like manipulating my macros in increments of 5 grams. So adding or subtracting eggs is a super easy way to just really hone it in and nail the numbers.
A lot of people are also on the go so often that I would just make a huge batch of hard-boiled eggs, peel them, take them on the go. They're so easy. Throw them in a bag, salt, pepper, and you're good to go. So many people use having to be on the go as an excuse to not hit their macros. This is almost a perfect 1-to-1 ratio. You have no excuses.
What can we call this egg so that it's an enticing recipe?
The perfect hard-boiled egg.
What about the excellent egg?
I guess you guys will find out what we end up naming it.
All right, bottoms up. You want to do the outro?
You want to take a picture? Oh, no, I guess we'll do that.
You want to do the outro?
I'll do the outro. All right, guys. So for the macros, for the recipe, for all the breakdown, go to ketosavage.com and you will get all the information you need about this perfect egg.
Excellent egg. Boom.
See you guys.